Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Hi guys, this is Fresh Pair back with another performance review. Before anything else, I have a small favor. Do hit the like button. Please subscribe to my YouTube page and do follow me as well on Instagram. Links are in the description box. So finally, the Adidas D'Lillard 2 has dropped in the Philippines. It took a while before these became available here, but as they say, patience is a virtue. I have played countless of times in my D'Lillard one, and I cannot overstate enough how excited I was to hoop in Damian Lillard's second signature kicks with Adidas. Now, after 5 days of hooping in my pair, I present my humble performance review for the Adidas D'Lillard 2. Let's get it. Let's quickly break down the components of the Adidas D'Lillard 2. This has tech fit that is engineered for natural, flexible support and a seamless fit. It's basically an internal bootie. The ankle collar is padded for extra comfort and fit. There are 4 zones of flex at the outsole for added stability and motion. Sprint frame construction enhances speed through a lightweight and supported chassis. There is also an internal torsion unit for midfoot rigidity. The outsole consists of continental rubber. Bounce foam is used for main cushioning. The BHM pair has full-grain aged leather upper along with textile panels, while the home and away colorways feature textile upper. Let me just say that the attention to detail in the D'Lillard 2 is great. Every part of the shoe reveals the effort that was put into it as far as design is concerned. Plus, the materials are on point. All these for a retail price that is relatively cheaper than what is mostly available today across all brands. That's always a plus in my book. The D'Lillard 2 feels a bit heavier than the D'Lillard 1 though, but the weight difference is not noticeable once you are already playing in the heat of the game. As for durability, my main concern in my Black History Month pair is the cracked gold overlays at the toe box and the lateral side. They will peel off in the long run. In fact, after just 2 hours of playing, few of the overlays have begun to peel, but that's fine by me. Otherwise, grab the home or away colorways, even the year of the Fire Monkey. Now let's talk about traction. Storytelling is at the heart of the outsole pattern of the D'Lillard 2, and the treads get it done. The treads are soft and pliable. Due to the storytelling, the treads are closely spaced, and as a result, dust and debris will collect at the bottom. I have the BHM pair, which has a semi-translucent, sort of milky rubber outsole, but it's practically the same Continental rubber in the home and away colorways. On very dusty courts, you will have to wipe the outsole frequently in order to get that squeaky grip. On mildly dusty courts, you will also have to wipe the outsole, but only every once in a while or when the dust and debris has already clogged up the space between the treads. Otherwise, you will be sliding once the outsole is caked. But that's not to say that the traction is bad. Most shoes will slide when a lot of dust is present on the court. The traction on the D'Lillard 2 is still good on mildly dusty courts. On clean courts, expect excellent court grip. Just give the outsole a bit of break-in time. Mine took about 4 hours worth of playing. Strangely enough, the traction at the heel played better than the forefoot right out of the box. After some break-in time, the grip of the rubber at the heel further improved. I think the main reason to this is the outsole pattern at the heel. Notice that the heel pattern is thicker but equally pliable and has adequate spacing, not like the forefoot pattern. Had the forefoot pattern been adequately spaced just like on the heel and thicker but still pliable, the forefoot grip would have been excellent right off the bat, even with some dust. In my opinion, the D'Lillard 1 has a more consistent traction than the D'Lillard 2 across a variety of surfaces, even on courts that are from moderately dusty to really dusty. However, the difference is really not by a wide mile. The D'Lillard 2 can also hold its ground literally and figuratively in terms of traction. I also think that this is the first time that Adidas has used Continental rubber for the outsole of a basketball shoe. In a nutshell, Continental is the name of the company that produces rubber tires. Adidas has used Continental rubber for their running shoes many times before, mainly because of its durability and grip in both wet and dry conditions. But I wouldn't suggest hooping on these on wet courts, especially those with smooth surfaces. Or more to the point, just don't hoop in smooth courts that have liquid on it, period. I won't highly suggest using this for hooping in courts with rough surfaces, particularly outdoor courts. You may do otherwise, of course, but expect the rubber outsole to wear out faster when compared to strictly playing indoors. And one final thing, the transition in the D'Lillard 2 is fluid from heel to toe. It's also another improvement from the D'Lillard 1, which had a disconnected 1-2 heel-to-toe strike when running. The D'Lillard 1 made your feet go slapping the floor. The transition in the D'Lillard 2, however, is smooth. As for cushioning, the D'Lillard 2 uses bounce foam, and it is more on the responsive side. It does not feel plush or mushy, but I personally prefer cushioning the way it is done with the D'Lillard 2 compared to the D'Lillard 1. The Adiprene Plus in the D'Lillard 1 was decent. It had a little bit of rebound, but the bounce foam in the D'Lillard 2 is another monster altogether. True to its name, bounce gives you that feeling of bounce. Although I must clarify that it won't give you significant lift during jumps if that's what you are looking for. In simple terms, what it does instead is to soften the impact at the heel and give your forefoot a quick push during steps on sprints and runs. Also, notice that the bounce foam tapers off. It starts thick at the heel, then eventually thins out towards the toes. This is the ideal setup as it follows the rule of thumb for midsole foam volume in key areas of the foot. On hard heel strikes, the thick bounce foam helps absorb the impact. At the forefoot, you have all you need for a responsive ride. I do think the soft rubber outsole in the D'Lillard 2 does add a bit of cushioning, and it perfectly complements bounce through ample compression. Also, the insole has just the right amount of thickness and density. For the most part, it adds step-in comfort, and step-in comfort is definitely present in the D'Lillard 2. Court feel is not compromised even with the use of bounce. While the D'Lillard 2 does not make your feet feel too close to the ground, there is still adequate court feel. Not excellent to be sure, but it's just enough, and I personally liked it. Is bounce better than or at the same level as boost? Well, no and no. But that's not to say that bounce is not good. It is also good, but not as good as boost. Bounce compresses just fine and has adequate rebound. Boost, however, takes compression and rebound a notch or two higher. Still, you can't go wrong with bounce tech. It is good. Now as for fit, go true to size, especially if you prefer a bit of wiggle room at the toe box as I do. If you're planning to wear thick socks or those with extra layers of fancy fabric, I suggest going true to size as well. Otherwise, go a half size down for a snugger fit. I've tried fitting both, and either way, you can't go wrong. Lockdown, particularly at the ankle area, is a great improvement in the D'Lillard 2. Heel sliding has been a concern for many in the D'Lillard 1, but this time around that problem should no longer worry you. If you get that perfect fit, your feet won't be going anywhere. They will be contained excellently. Part of the reason to the better fit in the D'Lillard 2 is that it has thicker padding at the ankle collar compared to the D'Lillard 1. Also, compared to the D'Lillard 1, the lacing system in the D'Lillard 2 is better. It starts off closer to the toe and ends at a higher position at the ankle area. Moreover, the strap that serves as the first eyelet extends to the forefoot between the tech fit and the outer layer. The soft quality of the upper material in the D'Lillard 2 also allows it to conform to your foot once laced tight. This is not so much the case with the D'Lillard 1 as it had a stiff upper. In fact, you can lace up real tight on the D'Lillard 2 without discomfort because the tech fit material at the ankle collar is double. In the D'Lillard 1, the tech fit was thinner. As for ventilation, the breathability is average. Nothing spectacular and nothing obnoxious. Just average, but it's still a good thing if you ask me. There are perforations at the bottom of the tech fit inside the shoe, and there are perforations as well on the medial window to allow some heat to escape. Overall, the internal tech fit construction really hugs your foot like a sock. While the D'Lillard 1 and 2 have practically the same tech fit and outer layer combo, the main difference is that the D'Lillard 2 has a softer and more giving outer layer and a thicker internal tech fit that is able to wrap your feet. Those two things make a world of a difference. Good job, Adidas. Here, have my bag of potatoes. There is adequate support in the D'Lillard 2. Not too much, but it covers the essentials for guard-type hoopers. On the BHM colorway, the lateral consists primarily of synthetic leather that is on the flexible side. On the home and away colorways, you have textile, but it is almost equally soft and flexible. Any one of those materials may be soft, but they get the job done. The material in the BHM has a bit of stretch, but does not overstretch. Instead, it keeps your feet in place during hard cuts and similar side-to-side movements. It does so by flexing with your foot and not restricting or getting in the way of it without allowing too much stretch. The plastic heel counter also prevents both side-to-side and upward heel sliding. The plastic heel counter is necessary, otherwise there will be heel sliding without it since only the tech fit will be there for support, which isn't going to be enough. Combined with the plush padding at the ankle collar, Heel and ankle lockdown in the D'Lillard 2 is good. There is a small out trigger at the lateral forefoot, but it's nothing significant. Rather, it is the wide base of the D'Lillard 2 that offers much of the stability. The weight of the D'Lillard 2 is also pretty much bottom-loaded due to the lightweight upper. As a result, the shoe's center of gravity is lower to the ground, thus helping each step become a bit more stable. Overall, the structure of the D'Lillard 2 provides much of the support. On one hand, you have the internal tech fit that acts like a sock. On the other hand, you have an external structure consisting primarily of a synthetic material that acts like a shell. Meanwhile, the lacing system does the rest of the work by ensuring that the inner tech fit and the outer material work as one unit. It does so by keeping them locked in together. That is another thing that was missing in the D'Lillard 1. In that sense, the support in the D'Lillard 2 is definitely an upgrade. All things considered, the D'Lillard 2 is definitely an upgrade from the D'Lillard 1. On its own or without comparing it to anything else, the D'Lillard 2 is a pretty good hooping shoe. It has decent traction. Just make sure to wipe the outsole when playing in dusty courts. Cushioning is generally responsive. Fit is good and the materials are top-notch. Support is adequate, particularly for those who rely more on their speed or quickness instead of man-to-man power down the lane. Now, having said so much, I give the Adidas D'Lillard 2 a grade of A-, which is equivalent to a grade of 90 to 93 out of a maximum 100 points. That's it for now. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube page as well. More reviews to follow. Also visit my website www.freshpair.ph for the transcript of this review and the other ones that I have posted in the past. Links will be in the description box below. Thanks guys, and as always, I appreciate the support. On to the next.